Yakuza 0 is probably my favorite game of all time, and in it there is a Cabaret Club minigame where you siphon millions of yen from hard-working Japanese salarymen by making them pay women to pretend to be interested in them. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the ancient tradition of the Japanese Cabaret Club was indeed the genesis of the Twitch streamer. This minigame is a stupid but funny diversion that for some reason has multiple hours worth of storyline attached to it. Previously in Bang Reshi vs the World, I had just completed the second Cabaret Club mini-boss, and deciding that I needed some more reinforcements, I headed over to the shrine to give my boy Bob Kiwami some more completion points. And thus, I summoned from thin air two of the hottest NPCs in gaming history, Kyoko and Shizuka. I decided to no lube raw dog my way straight into the third sub boss area, and so I opened the bar up to Club Mercury customers with no prep and no intel. All I knew was that these customers enjoyed nice and long sessions. The night went fine, no casualties, 0, dark. To optimize the rest of my run, I spent all my money partnering with businesses in the Club Mercury area. This netted me enough fans to start the first Club Mercury event. At the beginning of this event, my beautiful assistant Yoda-chan started talking to me about our need to scout Club Mercury, but then, out of nowhere, best girl Yuki-san began demanding that Majima bring her some vinegar. And listen you guys, I'm not trying to be political, but the way that vinegar was spelt out in Yuki-san's text box, the way she made those tatili PS2 facial animations, I don't know you guys, she's kinda sussy.
I'm about to get racist. Now I'm racist.
Majima head out to the mean streets of Sotenbori to find Yuki-san's but unfortunately all the stores were out of stock. Just as Goro was about to give up, a sultry vixen of an NPC appeared from the shadows. And this moment right here, meeting this NPC with this generic face model and these not so generic voluptuous breasts, this moment right here is when I asked myself, what the actual am I doing?
I wanna kill myself.
The camera cut away to the next scene and boom, it's an even sussier camera angle. This cinematography really makes me feel like a gamer. At this point, the game reveals the dark and wicked ways of Club Mercury, but honestly I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy being on the verge of an existential breakdown. After Majima's encounter with sussy Baccarella, Goro returns to Sunshine and bumps into the leader of Club Mercury. The bad guy this time around was some elderly Asian Johnny Depp lookalike. I won't lie, his swag was on fleek. Swag. Apparently this old dude was Yoda-chan's former mentor. It's giving me tragic Naruto villain. After that story interlude, I decided to give Yuki-san some more special training by going on a date with her. What can I say? Her eccentricity continually revealed itself. She was in fact so eccentric that I decided to retire from giving my platinum hostesses any more special training. At this point, I dialed down and just started grinding the Club Mercury area. And after multiple nights rising and grinding, finally we had enough fans to activate the second Club Mercury event. Once again, Yuki-san asked Majima to buy the and once again Majima heads out onto the streets of Sotenbori in search of the Goro bumps into the best girl from Mercury and they have a little Forrest Gump moment. Life is like a box of
misogynistic.
Fast forward story events, fast forward elaborate tragic backstory, and fast forward rising and grinding the Cabaret Club. Blah blah blah, you get the deal. After what felt like an eternity, it was finally time for a rival showdown with the elderly Japanese Johnny Depp lookalike. But before committing to a climactic showdown, I decided to optimize my roster by recruiting a very special lady. If you head out onto the streets of Sotenbori, you might find yourself in front of a very popular food stand. And while waiting for said food stand, a purple-haired Karen might push in front of you. You might then be presented with the option of de-escalating the situation or shoving this woman to the ground. You might then choose violence.
Let's kill the whole.
If you made those choices, then this purple-haired Karen will proceed to accuse you of being a yamete hentai. At this point, leave the area for a quick minute and then come back to the food stand. When in line for the second time, the Karen will return with another Karen friend. When presented with the option, choose violence once again.
Let's kill the whole.
These ladies will laugh at you, which may or may not trigger some bedroom PTSD, and the purple-haired Obasan will then give you a candy. Who's the Yamete hentai? Now, if you leave the area and come back to the food stand one more time, a Yakuza will be threatening the purple-haired Obasan with violence.
Let's kill the whole.
Defend her. After defending the elderly maiden's honor, she will congratulate you by tweaking out. Etsuko, the purple-haired Obasan, will then join your cabaret club as a gold hostess. She is, after all, a mature lady from Osaka who loves to gossip and will talk up a storm. With Etsuko on our side, we finally now had a roster worthy of decimating any foe in our way. Bring it on, Mercury. At this point, I was so leveled up, so experienced in the ways of Cabaret Club, that this whole climax battle thing, it was a breeze. So, the old man got defeated, and just like any tragic backstory Naruto villain wannabe, he got Tog no Jutsu back into being a good guy. Hooray! At this point, it had been 5 or 6 hours of non-stop cabaret clubbing, and I gotta say, the game had broken me. The novelty of the Cabaret Club minigame, it wears off, ladies and gentlemen. When you're sat there, just pressing A, and listening to yeah, for hours at a time, you're gonna start questioning the meaning of your existence. Seriously. All the other YouTubers did speedruns and gaming challenges, so I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be interesting. What they don't tell you is that it's actually boring as shit. After mind-numbingly mashing buttons for the sake of a quirky and unique YouTube video, one epiphany formulated in my brain. In the eternity of the cosmos, here I am, speedrunning not an actual game, but a minigame inside of a game. Nice.
I wanna kill myself.
At this point, it was all autopilot. My spirit wasn't in it anymore. There was another subplot, but I couldn't tell you what it was about. All I know is that the big bad guy for Team Orange had weird hair and an annoying attitude. The minigame itself had become an absolute cakewalk, so the whole process was just completely automatic. I didn't even really need to pay attention anymore. Any salaryman that walked through my club's doors will enjoy himself. Not because of the women, but because of the implication. We earned enough fans to unlock the climax battle, and we destroyed Club Venus. Yokatta. We then proceeded to physically fight the Club Venus boss, and destroyed him again. Yokatta squared. 5 out of 6 of the mini bosses were down, and finally it was time for the final boss. It was time for Club Moon. The end was in sight. I started just plowing through multiple Cabaret Club nights back to back to back. In between the grind don't stop, I partnered with all the Club Moon stores, and I did the special interlude story events. Your boy Bang Reshi was coming for the throne. I was desperate. 7 hours straight of this Totemo Baka minigame will do that to you. Once we had grinded enough fans, we unlocked the ultimate climax battle. As Sun Tzu said in his infamous Art of War, so I zhuzhed up my girls with some stunning makeovers. Finally, we were ready. With Etsuko the Obitarian at my side, anything was possible. Boom, easy money. We defeated Club Moon. As per usual, the Club Moon big boss freaked out and demanded a physical battle. He wanted some fisticuffs. So, I went outside with Mr. Moon and I spanked him to submission. The final cutscene rolled, sweet bliss, but out of nowhere, his random generic ass assistant, she shot him. Talk about a M. Night Shyamalan ding dong twist. This generic NPC, as it turns out, she's the real bad guy. This minigame, it never ends. Little Miss NPC calls you out to the ground for the final battle. We beat her lackeys, and finally, this goddamn minigame is over. Then the woman tries to kill herself. This generic NPC gains enough self-conscious to actually want to end her own existence. But finally, after more cutscenes that I didn't pay attention to, finally the minigame is over. And that was something.